Good evening. The law enforcement community is mourning the loss of one of its own after a Northern Kentucky police officer is killed while escorting a funeral. 9 News reporter Bryce Onslinger is live in the newsroom now with what led to this tragedy and how Officer Roy Sims is being remembered tonight. Bryce?
Brendan, Officer Sims was well known in the law enforcement community. He spent 20 years with the Covington Police Department and most recently was an officer at Northern Kentucky University. The accident happened at 11:30 this morning. Officer Sims was on his motorcycle providing traffic control for a funeral procession on Montgomery Road near I-275. When he accelerated to get ahead of the procession, the driver of the hearse didn't see Sims and turned into the cemetery. Sims hit the car and later died from his injuries.
We've lost a member of our family.
NKU Police Chief Jason Willis says Sims was a valuable resource for the younger officers in his department.
He was one of our firearms instructors. He taught some of our younger officers how to shoot. Some of them had never shot a gun before until Roy taught them how to do it.
Sims started at NKU in 2009. Since then, he's been a mentor for students and even Chief Willis.
Being a younger chief, I would ask Roy sometimes for his advice on things. And he did a lot for our department, and there's going to be some big shoes to fill.
Sims started his law enforcement career in 1988 with the Covington Police Department.
Roy was a very energetic guy. He was kind of a gym rat. He loved to work out.
Lieutenant Colonel Spike Jones attended police basic training with Sims. He says his work was well respected by other officers and the community.
I was going through his personnel file earlier, and it's thick with commendations and letters of appreciation during his military service, as well as from the community here in Covington as his service as a Covington police officer.
Sims lived in Fort Wright with his wife and twin sons. He also leaves behind 2 older sons from a previous marriage. Chief Willis says most of Officer Sims' free time was spent with his children.
You know, very proud of them, and I know that that consumed up a lot of his free time. When he wasn't here, he was taking care of his twin boys.
Officer Sims was a canine handler while in Covington. He was also a veteran of the Army. Brendan?
Bryce Onslinger, thanks. And funeral detail is a regular duty for people with law enforcement experience. So tonight we spoke with someone who's been doing it for 30 years. He tells us what he does to ensure he stays safe while working the same route to Gate of Heaven Cemetery.
I've done that route hundreds of times, but I'm in the left lane because there's procession to the right. I'll take the left. And I'll let the funeral procession go on because they're going to turn right there. There's no need for me to catch up with them. I'll wait for the last car to go through and then I'll go.
Stay with 9 News for continuing team coverage as we learn more about Officer Sims and the details surrounding his death. We'll bring you new information continuously on WCPO.com and on Good Morning Tri-State tomorrow beginning at 5 a.m.